There are crucial things we use every single day, but we usually ignore them and don't really think about how they work. But when you really think about it, how do things like locks and zippers actually work? How does toothpaste always come out in that swirly pattern? And how do niche things like Michael Jackson's leaning dance actually work? Well, today, using amazing animations, graphics, and visuals, we'll find out. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at how things actually work. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell? Michael Jackson's lean. Michael Jackson is said to be one of the best dancers of all time. Everyone knows the moonwalk dance, and if you put your mind to it, you can learn it. But one thing that everyone's tried and failed to do is Michael Jackson's lean. Well, we now know exactly how it's done. If you try and lean forward at a 45-degree angle, you'll fall over. But it turns out Michael Jackson was being a smooth criminal and playing us the entire time. His gravity-defying lean involves a patented shoe. It was patented so that only he could use it. The shoe has a hole in it, and in the stage there's a base and a hitch member. Markings as to where he should stand were painted on the stage, and he simply leaned forward and put all of his faith in that hitch. If it broke, he'd fall flat on his face, but thankfully that never happened. Locks. We put all of our trust in locks. Some of your most valuable possessions may be behind a simple padlock. But why do we trust locks so blindly, not knowing how they really work? As you can see from this cross-section, it's actually pretty complex. In a lock, various pieces of metal block keys from going in. But if a key has the correct cuts, it will make all of these bits of metal rise up. That's because the metal inside the locks is cut to the same shape as the key. All of these then rise, and you can then turn the lock. Zippers. I'm sure in your clothing or bags you have zippers, but how does that one zip seal up all of these stubs of plastic? Well, check out this animated cross-section of a zip. As you can see, similar to a railway track switch, there's two different inputs. The two stubs of plastic sit on top of each other, and then they're released out of the one output. It's funny how we use this invention every day but never think about how it actually works. Grenades. We all know grenades. You pull the pin, throw it, and it explodes. But one thing you never see is the inner workings of a grenade. Those who do see the insides of grenades are usually being blown up by them. But check out this cross-section which demonstrates how a grenade really works. The top part is the striker, which makes a spark. All of those beads are the explosive material. The red part is the detonator. And the section below that is the chemical delay. So now you know how grenades work, maybe you can disarm one if one is ever thrown at you. Just make sure you have a safety pin handy. Paper clips. Paper clips are very mundane office objects. But how are they made? Some think human beings twist a roll of metal around and around, but instead there's actually a pretty awesome piece of machinery. A thin metal wire is outputted. Then a heavy piece of rotating metal smacks it into shape. It only has to do this 3 times before cutting it off. And I have to say, it's incredibly satisfying to watch. Toothpaste. Squirting out toothpaste is incredibly satisfying, and everyone is used to seeing those red, blue, and white swirls. But how does it come out of a tube like that? Why doesn't it all get mixed together? Well, this cross-section of a tube of Colgate toothpaste demonstrates how. As you can see, the colored toothpaste is loaded in with an X shape. As you squeeze it and it goes out of the tube, it makes a swirl. Toothpaste is squirted out like this into a tube. And for a toothpaste like the one in this image, 7 different nozzles are used. Bowling ball. Bowling balls seem pretty self-explanatory. It's simply plastic and resin formed in a spherical shape. But that's actually not the case, as you can see from this bowling ball cross-section. The asymmetric core allows you to drill the ball to behave differently. Depending on where you drill the finger holes and your style of bowling, you can make a ball hook at different distances on the lane. There's an incredible amount of science behind bowling balls. However, some bowlers do use symmetrical balls, allowing you to track straight. And some have even been scammed and have bought fake bowling balls. The inside of these fake balls are simply filled with plastic and cement. Fans. Many people use oscillating fans in their home or office. We just press the button and then the fan switches on and starts moving around. But how does it actually work? Well, as you can see here, the rotor always spins when the fan's on. When you press the button, it pushes a cog down. This causes the fan's blade to rotate. It also moves another cog at a slower rate, which moves the fan's head. So that's how fans move and rotate. I never knew there was a crank rocker mechanism which moved it back and forth. Alligators. Alligators are very scary aquatic creatures. Although they are less aggressive to humans than crocodiles, they can still take your life. And they do prey on humans with some regularity. We often see them in lakes and ponds, but you've never seen a cross-section of them standing up. And when I say standing up, I really mean it. Instead of swimming, they usually float flat on the surface of water. But this is their resting position. When they're hunting, they usually stand up, kind of like how human beings stand on their hind legs. So it turns out Geico's commercials aren't that far from reality. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Vote in the poll in the top right corner which item on this list was most interesting. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thank you for watching. There's some more videos you may like on screen now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.